take it from there.
Ask the clerk to call roll. Here. Here. Here.
O'Donnell.
Here.
Ruben DeSellis.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Speed.
Here.
Watts.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
City Attorney Beard.
Here.
You have a quorum.
At this point, it'd be an order for a motion to appoint Don Cook as acting mayor in Mary, and second by Aaron Scott. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You're off and running.
I'd like to entertain a motion for the reading of the minutes of September 12th.
I'd make a motion that the minutes be approved as circulated.
Second. And Scott. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Presentation of petitions.
No petitions, communications, or claims.
Okay. Under the mayor's report, we have the reappointment of Katie Weeks, Mary Ferguson, and Noel Beard to the Jacksonville Library Board of Trustees. Term expires October 1st, 2025. Take a motion. Mary Watts, second. Brett Henry. Voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number two, under the mayor's report, we have the resolution authorizing use of ARPA funds for the Jacksonville Area Chamber of Commerce building update. Take that motion.
Get it on. Yeah. So motion.
Alderman Williams. Second. Ruben DeSalis.
Be resolved by the mayor and the city council of the city of Jacksonville that funding for the Jacksonville Area Chamber of Commerce repairs to their building is also authorized through ARPA funds in an amount not to exceed $150,000.
Discussion.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna use a building fund for that, if we did do that.
That
I do not know.
I haven't seen the plan there.
they had discussed doing that, but I don't know
either
that
or.
it's, yeah,
Either
I don't
or.
think a decision was ever made as to what was gonna happen with that.
Skip, what'd you say?
It was either or.
Oh, either or.
So did or get thrown out?
Did the order get thrown out?
Hmm?
Did the order get thrown out?
Don't know, that wasn't my decision.
I can't answer that. I would assume the mayor will answer that.
But he's not here.
I think one of the comments that was made that they wanted to try to get the ARPA funds taken care of and use the ARPA funds so that we quit getting all the requests for the ARPA funds. I think that was where he was going with that.
He was wanting to spend down.
Spend down.
Right. For the ARPA funds.
But we can only use the building fund for buildings.
That's correct.
So,
Where this can-
I get where Kent's coming from.
Well, we haven't even seen the scope of the work for this. We just seen a picture of a $300,000 remodel.
Okay.
I mean, I think before we go commit $150,000, we need a little bit more than a picture.
Is that in the motion to table it then?
I would say table it for further discussion. And I don't think it's really ARPA fund worthy.
That is certainly ARPA fund eligible.
It may be, but
So we have a motion on the table, second by,
No, no question.
go ahead and ask a question.
So, Skip, this might be a question for you as the city clerk. Have you seen an updated list of the ARPA funds so that we, what the funds are? Or how we plan to expend the additional money?
we need to get if there's gonna be a second to the motion to table, and then need to vote on that. There's no discussion once a
Right.
motion to table has
Yeah,
been
I
made.
guess, I mean, I had questions the other night, afterwards.
So,
Who's gonna do the work? Is the city gonna contract are we
Yeah.
gonna put it out for bid?
the chamber will be doing that. Lisa, is that correct?
Working with Brian Nyberg, the chamber will be putting that project out for bid. So we had the estimate that we brought last time that gave kind of what the scope of work would contain. I didn't bring that with me tonight, but I'm happy to send that to you again.
Yeah, I mean, we got the picture that night, and 300,000 seemed like a huge number. And then they acted like it was gonna be the city that would be doing it because it's our building and it would go be prevailing wage.
That is correct, that it will be prevailing wage because the city does own the building, but we were gonna be working in tandem. Brian Nyberg and I were gonna be working together on the project. It will have to be bid out, and he's going to basically be our general contractor for that job.
So do we have a second? for
So is
that
there a
motion?
second on the motion to table?
I just don't think it's ARPA worthy. I mean, what we should be spending our ARPA money on, if we are gonna do it.
So is there a second on the motion to table?
Seeing none, motion fails.
Any further discussion?
I have further discussion. I knew, you know
Have
me.
Further discussion.
Yes, I do have further discussion. So, in light of kind of some of the points that Kent brought up, it's not to exceed $150,000. Assumingly that it's a $300,000 project, but we haven't seen any specs or haven't gotten an estimate yet. Correct?
The mayor has been sent an estimate.
Okay.
He's seen an estimate.
We
So
have,
I'm happy to send one if
Okay.
needed. not a problem.
have we seen an estimate?
No.
I have not seen it.
So, I mean, and I know we've already taken it off the, we've already not given him a second for the table, but my thing is, if the, how much is your project?
It's estimated at $300,000.
So because we haven't seen the estimate, and we're saying not to exceed 150, what if the project only comes in at 250? So, you know what I mean? So then we're giving them more than the 50%, even, what?
You're
It's
not
not to
limited.
exceed 150, so if it comes in at 250, they're
Oh,
only
gotcha.
gonna get 125.
Gotcha.
And while the council may well want to stay with the 50% portion of whatever the cost is, this isn't the same as the TIF funds we just discussed. If you wanted to fund the whole thing, we could. I think it was the chamber's request for approximately the 50% or $150,000. And I would guess, don't want to speak for you, Lisa, but if it comes in less than that, then whatever 50% of that would be the maximum that the city would use.
Right.
Is that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement. However they want to word it.
Okay, no further discussion. Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Are you sure there's no other discussion? I've seen some looks like.
Is there any discussion?
Is there any discussion? Any further discussion? Going once, going twice. No further discussion. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Watts,
Yes.
Speed, Scott,
Yes.
Ruben DeSellis,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Hannah,
No.
Henry,
Yes.
and Cook.
Yes.
Motion passes.
City clerk's report.
I don't see you, Jim.
Don't have anything.
Oh, city attorney's report.
Thank
yeah.
you. We have one of our standard resolutions making minutes of certain closed sessions available for public inspection.
Ask for a motion. Alderman Scott, second. Alderman Henry.
Be resolved by City Council that the clerk is hereby directed to make available for public inspection the minutes of the closed meetings as set forth in Exhibit A to this resolution with those set forth in Exhibit B to remain confidential.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Those will be available in my office.
Yes, yeah, they are.
Cook,
Yes.
Hannett,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Ruben DeSalis. Yes. Scott,
Yes.
Speed, Watts,
Yes.
and Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Any public comment at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Under Finance, IT, and Personnel, we have one, is the City Treasurer's Report for August 31st, 2022. Parks and Lakes, Alderman Lori Large Odenettle.
Thank you. We have 3 items. Resolution authorizing the waiver of advertisement for bids and accepting proposals for new tables and chairs for the Community Park Center and Nichols Park Pavilion. Number 2, resolution authorizing the waiver of advertisement for bids and accepting proposal for new trees for the Jacksonville parks. And number 3, resolution authorizing the waiver of advertisement for bids and accepting proposal for the replacement of a roof at Lake Jacksonville Concession Building.
Plan and Public Works.
We have 6 items tonight. The first being resolution approving the design guidelines for the residential and commercial historic districts of the city of Jacksonville. Second item is a resolution approving tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the city of Jacksonville, Illinois, and Mike Hayes for 46 North Central Park Plaza. The third item is a resolution approving the tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the city of Jacksonville, Illinois, and Colleen Flynn for 74 East Central Park Plaza. Our fourth item is a resolution approving a tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the city of Jacksonville, Illinois, and Ramble Camp Brandon for 234 to 230 West State Street. Our fifth item is a resolution approving tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the city of Jacksonville, Illinois, and John Roan for 73 East Central Park Plaza. And our sixth is a resolution approving tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the city of Jacksonville, Illinois, and Matthew Lynch for 53 South Central Park Plaza.
We have one item, and it is a resolution authorizing payments from the Water Works and Sewage Project Fund for services rendered improvement projects, and I so move.
Are there any items that want to be removed for separate consideration?
Second motion. We need a second.
I need a second. Alderman Scott, any items that you want removed for separate consideration?
I don't want to remove anything. I just want a point of clarification. Can I do that now, City Attorney? So I know the question came up in workshop, but I want to make sure before we approve all these as presented from the committee, from their recommendation, that all of them are aware that if we only give them $100,000, that they're good with that. I mean, they'd rather take the $100,000 now, because that's all we have to give, and then hope they can get revolving loan funds maybe later? Or do you think that they would prefer to wait to see if there's more money later?
I think all of them are aware of what the recommendations were. The next step is that we would prepare and execute TIF agreements with each one of these participants. And at that point, they found that their financing hasn't been able to come together, whatever, that's when the process would start.
Ask clerk to call roll.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I received a phone call. I need to withdraw. That'd be bad, especially if they're watching. Number 4, please.
Number 4 under
Yes.
Planning and Public Works.
Under Planning and Public Works. And that one is the
Right.
building that fell.
Round Camp, yes.
Okay, that will be removed to the discussion.
Cook,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Hanna,
Yes.
O'Donnell,
Yes.
Ruben DeSalas, Scott,
Yes.
Speed, Watts,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Committee reports. Planning and Public Works. Alderman Scott.
We have one item, the second reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 235 West College Avenue from B3 to B3 with special use, and I so move.
Second. Large Oldendale.
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville zoning map for the property located at 235 West College Avenue be amended, changing the zoning classification from B3 Limited Business District to B3 Limited Business District with special use.
Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Watts,
Yes.
Speed, Scott,
Yes.
Ruben DeSalas,
Yes.
O'Donnell,
Yes.
Hanna,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And here, number 4.
I need to back up to Parks and Lakes, Lower Large Oldendale.
Actually, it's number 4 under.
Number
planning and
4,
public works.
under Planning and Public Works.
It's the resolution approving tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the City of Jacksonville, Illinois, and Ramel-Camp Bradney for 234 to 238 West State Street.
Yeah, I need a second. And that's a
Second.
motion.
Alderman Henry.
Be it resolved that based upon the recommendation of the Tax Increment Financing Committee, TIF grant is hereby approved for Ramel-Camp Bradley in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for this project at 234, 238 West State Street.
Discussion?
So the question is, based off the last council meeting where, and City Attorney Beard, you and I were chatting about this during the council workshop, who actually owns the building? So the city doesn't currently own it right now.
Now, the status at this stage is the original owners, it's an LLC. We have a lien against that property for the amount of our repairs that have been made. This TIF grant would be made to Ramel-Camp Bradney as part of them acquiring that building from those owners and then going forward from there.
So we would get our money first.
The city's not gonna receive anything on
Okay.
this.
So we are then having conversations with Ramel-Camp Bradney now to take over that building?
That's correct. And we've talked briefly about it, we can get into a further discussion now. But the hope of anyone coming in and paying off the lien that we've got for the demolition of the north part of that building is not realistic. At best, I think what the city is going to end up with this is having someone take it and fix it up, or take it and tear it down, and we not have to put any more money into it other than the repairs that we made.
And and I'm asking questions, I'm trying to recall my conversation. So the person who owns it currently is going to they're gonna give it up, and we're gonna allow Ramel-Camps to purchase it.
Yes. Whatever their arrangements are between the law office and those owners, once that is completed is when this would come into play.
Okay, then I have a question, just for clarity. So are they allowed to put an application in for this if they don't actually own it as?
It's much like we do with rezonings. Quite often we'll have someone who's going to be purchasing the building ask for the rezoning, and purchase is contingent upon the rezoning. So it's the person getting the rezoning, the new owner, who
Okay.
applies for the rezoning with the consent of the owner. And that's what you have now, basically. This TIF application is made with the full knowledge of the current owners. But
Okay.
This is perhaps a way to get this matter resolved.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I might add, I barely heard recite that resolution, and I want to make sure there's no issue in the future. Did that say up to 50%, not to exceed 100,000?
Yes,
On
yes.
the resolution?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Cook,
Yes.
Hennett,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Odell.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Ruben DeSalis?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Speed?
Yes.
Watts?
Yes.
And Williams?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Any old business? Any new business?
I do. You'd be disappointed if I didn't say something. It's not gonna take long. This is just really a shout out. I know the city was impacted by some high winds, a couple weeks ago. Ward 2 was hit pretty hard. And, every department, I saw the fire department, the police department, the city's streets department picked up got everything cleaned up really well. I just want to give a shout out to all the hardworking department heads we have throughout the city, across the whole city. You guys did an amazing job, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other business?
Well, sure. So I'll just go ahead, since you gave me the opportunity. We're not going to have any more neighborhood cleanups this year, but certainly, just again, I want to thank, again, all the department heads, all the volunteers. We had over 100 volunteers this year who helped clean up neighborhoods throughout the city. And so far, we've rounded up over 131 bags of litter from city streets from just volunteers going out and picking up litter. So I think it's been a great project, and I want to thank all of you for sharing it on Facebook and talking about it and volunteering and helping out. It was a success, and I would guess that we're doing it again next year. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Any other new business?